What's the most satisfying tables have turned moment you've ever had? I was the weird kid in high school, the one who brought a briefcase instead of a backpack. While the other kids talked about football and TikToks, I was highlighting Warren Buffett quotes and sketching out imaginary businesses on napkins. Most kids ignored me, some laughed, but Jake made it his personal mission to humiliate me. "Hey, CEO!" he'd shout down the hallway, smirking in front of his cheerleader girlfriend. "Got any stock tips today, Wall Street?" Once, he dumped mashed potatoes on my economics project and said, "Don't worry, future boss man can afford another one." The whole class laughed, even the teacher cracked a smile. But I didn't. I just looked at him, wiped the mess off my paper, and whispered under my breath, 10 years. Because that was my promise to myself. 10 years to flip the story. 10 years to succeed so loudly that no one would ever laugh again. After graduation, Jake went off the radar. I heard whispers, bartending jobs, failed community college attempts, party pics on Instagram. Meanwhile, I was working the midnight shift at a gas station while building an app in my parents' basement. My first app flopped, so did the second. But the third one, it helped small businesses manage their budgets, and it took off. I sold it for $400,000. Most people would have celebrated. I reinvested everything. No Rolex, no new car, just more work. I opened a small co-working space, then a second. By 28, I wasn't just a CEO. In theory, I owned 3 companies, had 19 employees, and my mom no longer had to work Sundays. Then one morning, I opened a generic job application email. It was for a janitor position we had posted. Basic stuff. Evening availability, resume attached. But the name? Jake. I stared at the screen for a solid minute. The guy who used to call me briefcase boy wanted to work for me. I clicked on the resume. 10 years of bouncing between warehouses and restaurants, nothing stable, no college degree, and now he was applying to clean floors in a building I owned. I scheduled the interview. Part of me wanted revenge. The other part, closure. He walked in looking older, rougher. He didn't recognize me, probably because I was in a blazer, sitting behind a desk with a nameplate that read, Operations Director. "Hi, Jake," I said. He shook my hand, eyes low. "Thanks for seeing me. It's been a rough year. Just looking for steady work." I nodded. "Let's talk about your experience." He answered politely but nervously, the same way I used to speak when I was terrified of being judged. When he finished, he finally asked, "So, what does this company do anyway?" I smiled. "It's mine. I built it." He stared. "Wait, are you—" "Yeah," I said. "Briefcase boy." He went pale. "Dude, I'm so sorry. I was a dumb kid. I didn't mean—" I held up a hand. "You were a kid. We all were. And I believe in second chances." His voice cracked. "So, I got the job?" "You did," I said. "Not because I forgot what you did, but because I remember what it's like to be underestimated." He started the next week. Every night, he'd pass my glass office, mop in hand, nodding respectfully. He never asked for special treatment. He worked hard, quiet, humble, different. One Friday, I left a note in the janitor's closet. "Apply for the open logistics position. You've got potential." 2 weeks later, he interviewed. A month later, he was promoted. Now, here's the best part he didn't know that I'd been watching. I saw how he helped a coworker whose car broke down. I saw how he stayed late without being asked. I saw how for the first time in his life, Jake wanted to be better. We're not best friends. He still doesn't talk much. But one day, I passed him in the hallway and said, "Funny, huh? How life works." He looked me dead in the eye and said, "You taught me more about success than any classroom ever did. Thank you for giving me the chance to prove I wasn't the guy I used to be." And in that moment, I realized revenge isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet. It's forgiving someone who never expected forgiveness. It's being the boss the bully never thought you'd become. And it's still showing them kindness after you've already won.